Greetings, YouTube. The Doctor is in. Dr. Urius Papers here coming at you with another commentary on Marvel Contest Champions. All right, well, this is episode 10 of Champion Highlights, and we're going to highlight Immortal Abomination. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or a comment. All right, so like I said, we're going to get into highlighting Immortal Abomination. I have chosen a specific set of individuals for Synergies, and I'm going to explain those, but let's first look at Immortal Abomination and see what he does. So I have, as you can see, he is a 5-star, rank 5, level 65, Sig 200. So he takes passively 100% less damage from poison effects, and the recovery reduction from poison is 50% less effective. So his poisons last 50% longer, but he takes 100% less damage from them. Now, I have actually seen him take damage from poison after it's stacked up quite a bit, but it isn't very often. All right, so anytime he has contact with the opponent, whether the opponent contacts him or he contacts the opponent, there's a 15% chance to inflict them with a poison that does roughly about 100 points every second. And it reduces health recovery by 30%, so that's important. And these stack up quite a bit. If the opponent reaches 10 debuffs, they are converted into an acid burn, which does roughly about 2,500 points per second, which is quite a bit. When Acid Burn is active, the opponent is inflicted with an indefinite non-stacking poison debuff, dealing 0 damage and reducing health reduction by 30%. And then there's no personal poisons that get put on him. When striking an opponent suffering from Acid Burn, all attacks are unblockable and deal burst damage. So that's even more important. So in addition to the 2,500 from the Acid Burn that they're taking every second, they're going to take another roughly 1,600 every time I hit them. So every 10th attack, he gets a personal debuff poison that does 0 damage. Each poison on Abomination gives him physical resistance. So if I've got, and I can stack these up to 12 because of his Awakened ability. So that's a lot of physical resistance. And it's a lot of physical resistance. So while he's poisoned, each time he blocks an attack, the opponent is inflicted with a weakness debuff, which reduces the attack rating by 30% for 2 seconds. And those stack up a lot too. So when he uses his special one, he puts a Petrify debuff on them, which reduces regeneration ability power rate by 20%. And then he gets 4 personal poisons. He gets 6 more if his Toxic Aura is active, and he gets his Toxic Aura when he's special too. So he activates the Toxic Aura, and then while active, he consumes 1 poison every 2 seconds. So it's important to get up as high as you can with personal poison so you can keep that Toxic Aura going. During Toxic Aura, standing next to an opponent inflicts 1 poison debuff every second. And so those do the same amount of damage. They do exactly the same thing as the poison debuffs do, but remember, when they get to 10, they get Acid Burn. Each stack of Toxic Aura beyond the first increases the speed that it inflicts poison by 25%. So if you've got 4 Toxic Auras on, which is very hard to do, you'll be putting a poison debuff on them every quarter second instead of every second. So if you got 2, then you'll be doing it every half a second. And okay, now his special 3 automatically inflicts Acid Burn, and then each stack of Toxic Aura inflicts 1 additional Acid Burn effect. So if I've got 2 stacks of Toxic Aura, probably going to be doing around 5 grand a second, plus the burst damage of about 1,600. So it's a lot. I mean, they will melt. Until the next time the Toxic Aura expires, it becomes enhanced, increasing the time it takes to consume a poison by half a second, which is good, so it's slower. Now, for his signature ability is Toxic Husk, so his self-inflicted poison stacks can increase to 12, so that makes his Toxic Aura last longer. And He self-inflicts 3 poisons, so he starts with 3 poisons at the start of the fight. And then his poison, petrify, and acid burn effects last 30% longer. And this is the metric that goes up as your SIG ability goes. So 30% is the max that you can get on him. All right. So now let's look at the synergies that I've got with him. Okay, so I picked a couple. There's a couple synergies that are specific to him alone, which if King Groot is on his team, his personal poison and acid burn effects increase by 15% potency. And then I also picked Red Skull. So basic attacks required to trigger self-poison are reduced by 2. So that means he just gets, instead of every 10, it's every 8 basic attacks, he gets another stack of poison, self-poison. So he can stack up the self-poisons faster. And so sometimes what I like to do is I like to get into a special one, which gives me 4 extras. So I end up with, by the time I get to a special one, that'll usually get me close to 12. And then once I got 12, I'll start spitting out the toxic auras. I'll spit out 1 toxic aura and then go to a special 3. And then, so I've got those 2. Now, the other thing I've got on here is not specific to him, but it does enhance him quite a bit because he is a master of debuffs. So I put Mr. Fantastic in here for one very specific reason. And that's this one right here. So if I have She-Hulk on the team, all science, Tech 2, but all science champs also apply an indefinite power sting, dealing direct damage equal to 60% of their attack rating when the opponent activates a special attack, and this power sting stacks up to 3 times. The opponent will always have 3 power stings on them, always, because of the number of debuffs that he puts on with weakness, petrifies, and poisons. Now, the other thing, he doesn't get anything from She-Hulk, but one other thing he does get from Mr. Fantastic here is also his prepared for anything Prefight abilities. So he can flip out all 3 of these at the beginning of a fight, and so the first one petrifies an opponent, reducing the effectiveness of the regeneration of power gain by 40%. That's power gain now, not ability accuracy. He also suppresses the opponent's, decreasing their defensive combat power by 25%, and then siphons the opponent's increase in the potency of damage over time debuffs. So that poison goes up by 25%. So those are all really important to this champ. All right, so let's get into it. And we're going to go ahead and begin this quest. And we're just going to do our favorite punching bag, which is Winter Soldier. And we're going to start out by activating all of Mr. Fantastic's Prefight abilities. So the Petrification, the Debuff Siphoner, and the Suppression Field. And so those are 3 debuffs that are going to appear right away on Winter Soldier. And so he's going to have a power sting of 3 automatically because of Mr. Fantastic. All right, so check it out. There's the power sting. And he's never not going to have that power sting now. Okay, so we're at 5. We're at 9 now because we just used our special 1. And he's already taking, so we will definitely be at 12 by the time we get to our special 2. So look how much, he's already at 5, and there's that. So he took a bunch of damage from the power, and then the power sting came right back. Okay, we're at 12, and we're going to hit him with the special 2 and do the toxic aura. And there it was again, and he went right back to 3. And now he's acid burned. So now, see all that damage coming out, and I can just blast him. And And I want to keep hitting him with basic attacks. So you can see my personal poison's ticking down right now. Okay, now we've got a Toxic Aura on, and we're going to hit him with the Special 3. So the Special 3 is enhanced. All the Petrifies all the Acid Burns are going to be enhanced now. And he just got, so you can see it ticking off. Look, I mean, his health is just melting now. Alright, we're just going to keep going. And he's acid burned again. We're about ready to lose. Alright, we went. We're going to use it again. We still got our Toxic Aura going. And this should actually finish him off at this point. And we're at 100% health. So you notice I was healing as well. Almost. Yep, that's it. And so you notice I was healing the whole time too. So I've got willpower turned up all the way. And he puts debuffs on himself. So as soon as bleed, and I've got suicides on, so as soon as the bleed suicide disappears, he starts healing. And and depending on how many poisons he's got on himself, because his own poison reduces his ability to heal. So it's anywhere from about 90 a tick down to roughly 20 a tick. Now, I'm going to do this second fight, and I'm going to show you a difference. I cannot put poisons on her. She is immune to poison, but I can acid burn her quite a bit. So we're going to do that. We're basically going to do the same exact thing, but we're going to end up doing less damage because we can't poison her. We can petrify her. And she just power sting herself. Now you see I'm healing now about 29 per tick. Now the power stings are not going on because I don't see, I just hit 2 because she just got weakness. Okay, now we're at 12. So we're just going to do damage now. Now we're going to get up to a special 3 because we've got our Toxic Aura on. And I can hit her. This is the only way I can hit her with the Toxic Aura. Now she's going to be acid burned after this. And because the Toxic Aura is on, it's going to be an enhanced acid burn. You can see all the damage clicking off of her right now. And she's got power stings on her again. Let's see if we can get back up to a special 3. And we're almost up to 100% now. Ooh, that was close. That was really close. Okay, we're going to hit her again now. Oh, we're at 99% health again. So even with a champ that's immune to poison, we're healing back up. Now she's just going to be wrecked by this. And every time I hit her, we got clipped. I was trying to get her to, I was trying to sucker her into doing that. Alright, we're just going to hit her with this and then end it. This might actually kill her. Yeah, that KO'd her. Okay, so as you can see, this Synergy team, now I didn't get to turn on all that stuff with Mr. Fantastic. I probably could have turned on the petrification, but I didn't get to turn it all on because he He only gets 4 persistent charges, and then once I spend him, he only gets more if he actually wins a fight. So at that point, it's good for the first fight, and then maybe later on, you might be able to use it for another fight. But it's good for like bringing him into a boss fight. So there you go. Thanks for tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.